Today we will continue the chemistry chapter. In the previous class we have completed alkenes. So today we will start with alkynes. Okay. So yes, alkynes. Alkynes are coming under unsaturated compounds. Alkynes come under unsaturated compounds. Okay, so alkenes are also unsaturated, but what is the difference between alkenes and alkynes? Alkynes will have a triple bond. So the general formula for alkynes is CnH2n minus 2, where n is the number of carbon atoms. N is the number of carbon atoms. Okay, so they will give incomplete combustion. Why they are giving incomplete combustion? Because they are having less number of hydrogens. They have less number of hydrogens, so they give incomplete combustion. So when there is incomplete combustion, how the flame will be? The flame will be a yellow color flame with black color smoke. So it will give a burn with a sooty flame. Sooty flame means the yellow color flame with black smoke. Okay. So the first member of the alkyne family is ethyne. Okay, so ethyne is CH triple bond CH. The other name for ethyne is acetylene. Okay, so this mixture of ethyne and oxygen. Ethyne is burned with oxygen. Okay, mixture of ethyne and oxygen is burned. Okay, and it is used for welding. See, ethyne is a unsaturated compound, so it will not give complete combustion. It will give only incomplete combustion. So what we have to do is, we have to burn this ethyne in the presence of oxygen. If you burn ethyne in the presence of air, see, the air contains oxygen and many other gases. Okay. So if you burn ethyne in the presence of air, air contains oxygen and many other gases, so there will not be any complete combustion. So always what we should do, we should burn ethyne only in the presence of oxygen. Okay, there should not be any other gases. When you burn ethyne in the presence of oxygen alone, okay, there will be complete combustion. And because of the complete combustion, more heat is generated. So this heat is used for the welding purpose. Okay, so this they will ask in question, why ethyne is burnt with oxygen and why it is not burnt in air. Okay, in air you will not get complete combustion, but in oxygen you will get complete combustion and more heat will be released. So you will be getting more heat for the welding purpose. Okay, so now let us study the next one, nomenclature. So nomenclature, triple bond will be present. So what is the suffix you will be adding? You will be adding "ine." This is the suffix you will be adding. Okay. So for example, I will do some problems. CH triple bond C, CH2, CH2, CH3. So how many carbons are there? 5 carbons. So 5 carbons means it is pent. Okay. Triple bond is there, so it is ine. So the triple bond is in first carbon, so it is pent 1 ine. Okay. Now the next one, it is CH3, C, CH2, CH3. Now here also it is 5 carbons. So it is pent, okay, and triple bond is there, so it is ine. What is the position of this triple bond? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you number from this side, it is in number 2. When you number from this side, it is in number 3. So the position is pent 2 ine, because always you should take only the smaller number. Okay. Now I am drawing like this: CH3, CH, CH3, C, CH. Okay. Now you see I have one branch. Okay. So there is one carbon in this branch. So one carbon means it is a methyl branch. Okay. So remaining 4 carbons are there. 4 carbons means it is bute. Triple bond is there. So it is ine. Now I am going to number from this side, and then I am going to number from this side. When I number from this side, the branch is getting the number 2 and the triple bond is getting the number 3. When I number from this side, the triple bond is getting the number 1 and branch is getting the number 3. So always you should take the pair which is having the least number. So methyl branch is in third position, okay, and triple bond is in first position. So 3 methyl bute 1 ine. Now you check the molecular formula of all these compounds. How many carbons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbons. 1 plus 2, 3 plus 2, 5 plus 3, 8. So 8 hydrogens. So it is C5H8. For this also it is C5H8. For this one also it is C5H8. So all the 3 are having the same molecular formula but different structures. So what do you understand from this? Alkenes also show isomerism. They will show structural isomerism. They can show structural isomerism. Understood? Clear? Fine. Now in your textbook, if you see, they would have given the isomers of hexane that you can do as homework. Okay. So this is isomers of pentine. So you draw the isomers of hexane. Draw the isomers of hexane. Okay, X1ine. I will write the isomers. Can you draw the structures? Yes. So X1ine. 1ine means 6 carbons. In that first carbon you should put triple bond. Okay. Then Hex2ine. This is another isomer. Then Hex3ine. This is another isomer. And then the fourth isomer is 3-methyl pent 1-ine. So in the pent means 5 carbons you have to put in the straight line, and in the first carbon you have to put triple bond, and in the third carbon there should be a methyl branch. Okay. And then 4-methyl pent 1-ine. This is another isomer, and 4-methyl pent 2-ine. This is another isomer, and next one is 3,3 dimethyl but1-ine. So these are all the isomers of hexine. I want you to draw all these isomers and send me the pictures of your homework when you submit the pictures completed work. Okay. Now let us study the structure of the triple bond. Structure of the triple bond. Okay. Now I will take one example, ethine molecule. So ethine means it is CH triple bond CH. Okay. Now carbon is having 4 orbitals. Okay. So carbon, this carbon I am drawing this side, and this carbon I am drawing this side. Okay. It is having 4 orbitals. So one orbital this side I am drawing, another orbital I am drawing this side, next orbital I am drawing this side, and fourth orbital I am drawing this side. Because why I am drawing 4? Because atomic number of carbon is 6. So it is 2, 4. So 4 electrons. So it will have 4 orbitals. So this carbon also will have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 orbitals. Okay. Now one hydrogen will form bond with one orbital. So this is head-on overlap. So it is a sigma bond. Here also it is head-on overlap. So it is a sigma bond. Here also the carbon is having head-on overlap. So it is a sigma bond. Now these two orbitals will overlap laterally. So if it is a lateral overlap, what is the name of the bond? It is a pi bond. This orbitals also will overlap laterally. So if it overlaps laterally, this is also a pi bond. So in this triple bond, if you take, okay, only one bond is a sigma bond. The remaining two bonds are pi bonds. That means what? Only one bond is formed by the head-on overlap. Remaining two bonds are formed only by the lateral overlap. Okay, so the structure will be, the shape will be a linear shape. Linear means it will be a straight line like this. Okay. If any compound is having a triple bond means the shape will be linear in shape. Understood? So if the carbon is having triple bond, what will be the hybridization of the carbon? It will be sp hybridization. Okay, I told you already, if it is having single bond, it will be sp3 hybridized. Double bond means sp2 hybridization, and triple bond means it will be having sp hybridization. Okay. The next one is preparation of alkynes. Preparation of alkynes. Okay. So the first one is from calcium carbide. Calcium carbide. The formula for calcium carbide is CaC2. What is the formula for calcium carbide? It is CaC2. That is the formula for calcium carbide. So how will you prepare the alkynes from calcium carbide? So you have to treat this calcium carbide with water. If you treat calcium carbide with water, you will get alkyne. So this involves 3 steps. First step is heating limestone. Okay. So limestone, what is the formula for limestone? CaCO3. Calcium carbonate is the formula for limestone. So when I heat it, what will happen? One calcium is there, so that I am writing. 3 oxygens are there. Out of these 3 oxygens, only 1 oxygen I am writing this side. Okay, so remaining 2 oxygens and this carbon will form CO2. So CaO plus CO2. Next what I am going to do is I am going to treat this calcium oxide. Calcium oxide is also called as quicklime. Okay, this and all you have studied in your 10th standard. So second one, I am going to treat this quicklime with coke. I am going to treat quicklime with coke. Coke means carbon. Okay, so what is the formula for quicklime? CaO. Okay, so I am going to treat this with coke. So coke means carbon. So 3 carbons I am taking. So I should get calcium carbide. So what is the formula for calcium carbide? This Ca, and out of these 3 carbons, 2 carbons alone will be here forming calcium carbide. Remaining 1 carbon and 1 oxygen will form carbon monoxide. Now the third step is your preparation step. Calcium carbide plus water. So what is the formula for calcium carbide? CaC2. So when it reacts with water, what you will be getting? Okay, so I am taking 2H2O. So see here, 1 calcium, 2 carbons, 2 2s are 4 hydrogens I am having. Okay, and 2 oxygens I am having. Okay, so what I will be getting here is Ca, okay, OH twice. CaOH twice is nothing but calcium hydroxide. CaOH twice is calcium hydroxide. So CaOH twice means 2 is common for both oxygen and hydrogen. So cancel 2 oxygens and 2 hydrogens. So remaining what I have? I have 2 carbons and 2 hydrogens. So C2H2. C2H2 is nothing but ethane. So how it is C2H2? It is CH, triple bond CH. So C2 and H also 2. So that is nothing but ethane. So this is the first method of preparation of alkynes. Okay. So now the second method, from vicinal dihalides. Vicinal dihalides. Vicinal means what? Next carbon. Okay, next carbon means we will call it as vicinal. Dihalides means 2 halogens will be attached to next carbon. So like this, for example, CH2 single bond CH2 Br. So this is an example for a vicinal dihalide. So what will happen? What we should do in vicinal dihalide? So you must do dehydrohalogenation. Dehydrohalogenation. Dehydrohalogenation means you must remove hydrogen and you must remove halogen. What and all you should remove? You should remove hydrogen and you should remove halogen. So for example, I am taking like this CH2 Br. So this is a vicinal dihalide I am taking. So to remove this, what I am going to do? I am going to add potassium hydroxide. So what I will be getting? So 1 hydrogen will be removed and 1 halogen will be removed. So I am removing 1 halogen from this side and 1 hydrogen from this side. So if halogen is removed, what I will be getting? I will be getting CH2. Halogen is removed. And the single bond will change into double bond. remaining CH2. One hydrogen I am removing. So if I remove one hydrogen, what I will get? Instead of CH2, I will be getting CH. And what is connected here to CH? Br is connected. Okay, understood? So now to this, what I am going to do here, to this compound, I am going to add NaNH2. I am going to add NaNH2. So this Na will combine with this Br, okay, and you will get NaBr. Understood? Now one hydrogen will be removed from this. Again dehydrohalogenation. Halogen is removed. It will combine with Na and it will form NaBr. One hydrogen will be removed from this. This one hydrogen will combine with NH2 and it will form ammonia, NH3. Remaining what is left out? Only CH is left out. Here also only CH is left out. So you will get CH triple bond CH. CH triple bond CH. So this is how you will be preparing what? You will be preparing the alkynes from vicinal dihalate. Here what will happen when you add KOH? This Br is going outside, yes or no? This Br will combine with this K and it will form KBr, additional product. And this hydrogen which is coming out of here, it will combine with this OH and it will form H2O. These are all byproducts. Understood? So first single bond will change into double bond, then double bond will change into triple bond. Understood? So next we will study the physical properties of alkynes. Physical properties of alkynes. So the first three members are gases, okay, and the next 8 members are liquids and the higher members are solids, and the higher members are all solids, okay. And yes, they are all colorless and orderless. Colorless and orderless. In that there is one exception, okay. Ethane alone will have a characteristic smell, okay. Ethane alone will have a characteristic smell. Characteristic smell means a peculiar sweet smell. Acetylene will be having a sweet smell, okay. So since it is a carbon compound, it is a covalent compound, so it will be insoluble in water. Why? Because they are all non-polar, but water is a polar solvent. Polar solvent means it will divide into H plus and OH minus, so it is a polar solvent. So this is alkynes are non-polar. So non-polar means they will not be soluble in polar solvents. So they will be soluble in non-polar solvents. Okay, they will be soluble only in non-polar solvents. So what are the non-polar solvents? Like ether, benzene, etc. Understood? So the next one is chemical properties of alkynes. First chemical property is the acidic nature of alkynes. Acidic nature of alkynes. Acidic nature means what? When will you say a substance is acid? It liberates H plus ions. When it liberates H plus ions, we will call it as an acid. Okay, so suppose for example, if you take ethyne, okay, so when you take ethyne and when you treat it with sodium metal, what will happen is the sodium will come here and this hydrogen will go outside as H plus. Okay, so you will get CH triple bond CNA plus H plus. So it is liberating a H plus ion. Okay, now if you treat this compound with another sodium, suppose if you treat CH triple bond CNA with another sodium, what will happen? This sodium will come to this hydrogen's place and this hydrogen will be sent out as H plus ion. So you will be getting CNA triple bond CNA plus again one more H plus ion will be generated. See now, compared to alkanes and alkenes, alkynes are only generating this H plus ions. Okay, alkanes and alkenes, they will not generate H plus ion. So what is the reason? So this they will ask us question, why alkanes and alkenes do not show acidic nature, do not show acidic nature. Okay, suppose we will take three examples. Okay, so one is we will take an alkyne, next we will take an alkene, next I will take one alkane. Okay, so I have taken an alkyne, alkene and alkane. Okay, now compared to these three bonds, the triple bond is a very weak bond. Okay, so triple bond is a very weak bond. Okay, so triple bond is a weak bond. So what will happen? So weak bond means you can break the bond easily. The bond is easily reactive bond. The alkynes are easily reactive because of the triple bond. So when the carbon is having sp hybridization, when the carbon is having sp hybridization, when the carbon will be having sp hybridization, that means sp hybridization means when the carbon is having triple bond. When the carbon is having triple bond, that means when the carbon is having sp hybridization, the carbon will be more electronegative. It will be more electronegative. Okay, so what is the point you will be writing? The carbon in alkyne, it is having sp hybridization. Okay, so it will be more electronegative. More electronegative means, for example, the compound is like this. Yes or no? So these two carbons are sp hybridized carbons. So they will be more electronegative. More electronegative means they will attract this pair of electrons towards themselves. Okay, they will be attracting the shared pair of electrons towards itself. What is electronegativity? Already in 10th standard we have studied. Attracting the shared pair of electrons towards themselves, that is called as electronegativity. So these two electrons will be shared, okay, will be attracted towards the carbon itself, because carbon is sp hybridized and it is more electronegative. So these two hydrogens, they will be very loosely attached. Since these electrons are attracted towards carbon, these hydrogens are loosely attached. What do you mean by loosely attached? When something is loosely attached, it can be easily removed. They can be easily removed. So these two hydrogens, they are loosely attached, so they can be easily removed as H plus ions. And since these alkynes are releasing H plus ions, they are said to be acidic in nature. So they are easily removed as H plus ions. So they are acidic in nature. So they are acidic in nature. Understood? But in the case of alkenes and alkanes, so the bond is very strong. It is not sp hybridized. Here it is sp2 hybridized, and here it is sp3 hybridized. So the carbon will not be electronegative. So the hydrogen will not be loosely attached. So it cannot release H plus ions. So it cannot behave as an acid. Understood? What is the first chemical property? So the remaining chemical properties we will be studying in the next class. So in the next class I will be completing these alkynes and I will be starting the aromatic compounds. Okay.